All right, so I'm going to have Vinchester in the yellow for this series. I just think the colors look quite nice. And guys, we have, Group C action. Sorry to have to adjust this, trying to keep the groups in order. But so far, so good for Vinchester, who has got 6-0 in 2 rounds. This is round 3. And Vinchester definitely seems like one of the favorites so far to maybe not only get out of the group stage, but eventually win the whole thing. He is playing as the Malay here, as we actually saw this exact matchup in one of the previous sets with Dogal and Nikov. And Nikov just absolutely destroyed the Chinese and Dogal with the Malay. Now, BacT has also played really good. And this group, guys, is one to pay attention to, particularly with BacT, Capwatch, Slam, and Song Song. Because Leary and Vinchester are kind of setting the pace ahead. But the other players are still going to be fighting for the 2 spots behind them or the 2 spots below, which would then be relegated. And again, a lot of 2-1 situations. So Slam, he got 2-1'd by BacT, but BacT's got 2-1'd by Capwatch, and then Slam and Capwatch are going to play. It's crazy. And then there's a 2-1 win for Slam against Song Song, but then if Song Song 2-1's like BacT or Capwatch, like, it's crazy. But yeah, so far, everyone has been losing to Leary and Vinchester. Though they have shown some cracks in the armor. I felt like particularly Slam could have gotten some wins against Leary in their set. All right. Why did you include Houseboat in the map pool? It's so nerve-wracking. I think it's a great map. That's why. I mean, sure, if this was a midi-low tourney, I probably wouldn't do it for you guys. But I felt like I base the inclusion of maps around 2 things. Maybe 3 things. So first off, the competitiveness of a map. And I think it can be quite a competitive map. The second thing is the diversity in which the map brings. Now, that's not always the case, because some maps aren't diverse. But the diversity in the map pool. So think about it. We have 11 maps, right? You don't want all 11 maps to be the same. And then the final thing is probably, are the games actually good, right? And so in January when we did WWC, I felt the games were really solid. So that's basically where I'm at. And BacT's played really well in that. And BacT knows to get the proper dock spot down. Docking on the outer ring is where it's at, so you can take additional shorefish. So that's 400 food you can take with these vills. Does have a big lead right now because Chinese start with more vills. And unlike other maps, do not start with 0 food around your TC. So he's been able to have 9 seconds of TC idle time due to the fast shorefish. Is there a reason there's no Nomad maps in the map pool? Not really a reason per se. I just didn't necessarily want it for the first season. Obviously, I do like Nomad. But I think so within a Nomad-only tournament, like we did with WWC, and these villagers are stuck, by the way. This is really annoying. It looks like you can only take it with 1. But the drafting situation for WWC was pretty interesting because while they were all Nomad style, all the maps were different. If we did standard Nomad, I would be a little scared of the Civ nightmares there with like Spanish, for example. But every season will have different map pools, and we could definitely incorporate some Nomad in the future. The idea is to have some maps be constants and some maps be different every season. So I can't speak to the next map pool right now, but I doubt Houseboat will be in the 2nd season. Even if it produces really good games, that's probably a map we would rotate out, for example. So yeah, good questions, good conversation as we wait to see the approach. I could see Vinchester doing what Nikov did and dropping the dock at home, but it seems like you've got 2 strategies right now. You've got dock forward, or you have the dock at home. Now, what I like about this map, too, is it almost always transitions to Castle Age. You see a lot of situations where players have had to work hard to get to a spot, but it doesn't necessarily end the game. Transitioning to land, obviously a big, big thing. Also, this could get trapped. If Vinchester... What? Even I would trap there, Vinchester. Come on, man. Hey, chat or T90. I have some gaps in my viewership. What was the resurgence about, or why the name? It was a 10K tourney with a lot of more classic maps, I guess you could say. It's a pretty good event. Okay, so here come the Vills for BacT. And players should know how this works. What about Vinchester? What's Vinchester doing? Okay, Vinchester making a mining camp. Has a Vill here. To me, this looks like he's going to dock at home. Now, you have to transport back and forth, as well as keep your fishing ships protected. So if you were to lose your water, it could be really bad. And guys, he's got the vision because he's Malay. He is in fuel age faster. Will he notice this dock from BacT? There goes BacT with his dock. Immediately, Vinchester goes for the fire galley. We actually have double dock from BacT. So the problem I see for Vinch right now is simply the fact that he is not going to be able to do any damage to the enemy. Unless I miss something. No. So he is investing, in theory, a similar amount to defend his fish. And actually, some of the deep fish are here. So Vinchester wants to put an end to this. Apparently it was lagging or whatever right there. Vinchester wants to put an end to this, and he's actually going to come out and try and tower right now. Wow, I've never seen this, guys. And I don't know, like, what does BacT do here? He's thinking about it. I've never seen this before. I've seen the double dock, and I've seen people just react in their own pond. But I guess Vinchester can pull so many Vills. This is... Honestly, this is kind of worth it here. You're faster to the fire galleys because you're at your own pond. You could garrison to shoot any of the ships. You could also, if you really wanted to be crazy, batter the dock down. I don't know. Now I'm second guessing because the tower doesn't do much if you don't have villagers inside of it. Okay, again, BacT, able to fish at home. He's got 4 fishing ships. It's the same thing. They have to keep ferrying their villagers across the map from their town center to the shoreline. Okay, demo goes out. It's a decent demo. Vinchester will now repair. Something BacT can't do because he's gone home with his Vills. And, ooh, important. BacT wants to transition to land here. And that has now been spotted by that outpost. And with town patrol, Vinchester can see a lot now with the Malay. You think a real world map would be pretty awesome? Probably wouldn't be something that would be for me, personally. I think a lot of the maps have potential balance problems. But I think that would be interesting. I see what you mean. BacT is just waiting. He's just waiting to jump out here. So I'll tell you what they do. They'll hop out with one fire, hoping that all the fires group together, and then they use the demo. Let's see if BacT does that. Okay, so he pops out, and then they move, and then he goes with the demo. Similar thing to what I was saying. But the problem is everybody knows that, and great defense from Vinchester. He did kill a spearman there. Also can repair... Villager! Doesn't get the repair down. But still, BacT can always do something. BacT has the control. I do like how Vinchester knew he needed to add the barracks in the range, though. There's BacT with his own range. So, I don't really know if this tower has done much, to be honest with you. But it has accomplished getting the villagers to leave the area. BacT is simply just going demo ships. And actually, Chinese demo ships have more HP, which is something I never talk about competitively. Oh, no! He's gonna... he sacrifices a fishing ship. God, that would have been such a big demo, but I guess in BacT's mind, he's gonna lose his dock soon. So he doesn't care about weakening Navy, he just cares about killing fish. Dang. Here goes another demo. Again, it seems like he just wants to take out the fish. Also feels unlikely he will do so right now. With the food counts, both players kind of struggling there. And both players have outposts, but BacT does not know that his opponent has archers. Or demos. And the demo's not really landing. And so, yeah, in the end, Vinchester defends. Malay have a lot of food on their fish traps, so he's going to add some fish traps now as the fish run out. And finally take the food that's over here. And this is what BacT can see. He actually uses the market here. And he wants to get up to Castle Age quickly, and he's going to send the archers around this way. So, I don't know. I mean, overall, if you look at the Eco KD, it's good for BacT. KD, it's fine for BacT. Has his scout alive, moving around a lot. Was able to take some additional food in the corners, which I love. Too many players get tunnel vision on the water, and they don't do that. We do have a tower for Vinch. So he actually saw with this outpost that the archers were moving that way. And this mining camp has helped him out a lot. He's been taking stone there as well. Oh my god, BacT just lost a villager to a boar. Not something you see every day. I guess he was worried about the archers. Or the million other things you do. And he's hoping that the casters won't see that one, I bet. And slowly thinking about a wall off there. But still yes. Archers for Vinch. And the classic BacT, even though it's a recorded game, classic, he had to pause. Guys, I don't know if anyone has seen this clip, but it's out there. So it's always been a thing with BacT that he pauses. And sometimes it'll be a pause, and it'll be like, I mean, back in the day, people were a lot more religious with it. Or religious. What's the... Not religious. What's the word I'm looking for? If I were to say that... Help me with my vocabulary. If I were to say that they really took advantage of the situation back in the day, what would I say? Egregious? Is that the word I'm thinking of? Religious? Egregious fits. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, it doesn't matter what word. Liberal. There's a lot of different words you can put. Anyways, so back in the day, like, BacT would pause, and you would just know that he was taking a smoke break in the middle of a game, you know, just to relax. That doesn't happen as much anymore, but he does still pause. And as these archers show up, this is really bad for BacT. This is really bad for BacT. It became a thing, right? Everyone always knew that the BacT sec. And so one day BacT was playing an AI. He was doing like 3 AI challenge or something, and he paused and said sec against the AI. Just because he's so used to it. He sec'd the AI. And I've always thought that was funny. Anyways, TC over here for BacT. I guess he did end up eating that boar. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of different words that could work for it. I don't know why my mind went religious. That's definitely not the word I was looking for. Vinchester has not even clicked up yet, but man, does his eco look good. He has 16 fishing ships. Look at the fish traps. That's ridiculous, man. And he does advance quite quickly with the melee. A positive for BacT would be that he is on 3 town centers. So he is going to have more villagers. But he has not really added more fish at all here. Which I think you could have done with the Chinese. You can do it with any civ. It's quite common if you still have control of your pond to add fishing ships. He has the wood. Had some knights out, but he wasn't able to do much against his opponent. Vinchester actually has archers inside the tower, just massing archers, just waiting, just walling. And even here, just getting the walls down. I think the only area he would be exposed is the left, and even there he's walled. And then here, where he's also walled. So yeah, I mean, his eco's insane. He could go fast imp Arbalest with this, guys. Also, very heavy on stone for a castle here is Vinchester. Immediately clicks guild nets. That will help the fishing. And BacT just scouting around. I think he's paranoid. Because he doesn't have direct vision on the archer range. He's super paranoid right now. Obviously, I do like his position, though. And it's getting closer and closer. BacT will add siege because he knows it could be archers. So that's the correct move. And we have ourselves a really good game right now. This is a quality game. I like it. Should BacT have opened with 2 demos and gone for the transport? No. You don't want to do that. You want to go for their... Like, if you control the water, which you can do if you end up getting good demo hits, you kill the transport and everything else. But just going for the transport is a bad idea. Now, having played in a situation where someone dove in and killed my transport ship, I can tell you it doesn't feel good, because that's what happened to me in the all-important Game 3 on Houseboat and WWC. But at the same time, I was able to win back water because they sacrificed to kill the transport ship, and then I was able to just make another one. Now, my memory of that is kind of hazy, But my God, there was a moment where the moment I lost the transport ship, I had 5 vills, and I clicked ungarrison on the shoreline, and it went back first, and I almost lost all vills, which would have been so bad. And speaking of losing vills, the siege is here. And this is not something that BacT knew. Both players have been so defensive, and Vinchester says, screw your siege. I've got the hill, and I can get this. And actually, I think he'll get it. He needs 1 crossbow to hit. That's it. Just 1. Poink. Oh, wait. There's another one, though. Oh, man. The timing's so crucial. What confidence from Vinchester. He does see the next shot. I think he's happy to just force this away. Boom. Big hit. He goes underneath of it now and gets the next one. And yes, that castle completes for Vinchester. Wow, well played. I think BacT did everything right there, adding the siege. It was just that he didn't have a repair villager for the siege, which is a necessity at times. I think he's doing everything right economically as well. Lots of farms, lots of wood. Again, BacT is playing out of his mind in TTL. He's playing really good. I think a player that's kind of dipped out of some people's top 10. Well, he hasn't been in the top 10 for a couple of years, but he once was, and I think he's definitely back in that top 16 conversation, and it's always a question of what shape is he going to be in. Peak BacT is insane. We saw some of that for Slam. All right. Well, Imperial Age will be in 90 seconds for Vinchester. And BacT is nowhere near. He's been spending more villagers. More eco on creating vills. He also has been making knights, and he also has been getting the upgrades on knights. Costs a lot of food and a lot of gold. I think where he places his castle is crucial here, because if he knows Vinchester is up, he doesn't want that castle to be within Treb range. But at the same time, you also need to protect yourself from the Arbalest, because that's really hard to stop. Fishing ships that brought in so much food. Okay, so my current thought on the situation is that if BacT would have gone up to like 10 of his own fishing ships and add some fish traps on that, he would be in a much better position. But I think just not doing it at all and then going into the boom means that Vinchester's got a much bigger time window and potential to do damage here. Vinchester, he went fast imp Arbalest with Ethiopians, I think, against Song in the first round, and he's so good with it. Because if you lose your army in this type of a push, sometimes you can lose the game. But Ballistics comes in, TC takes out the siege, the Knights need to get away. BacT is nervous now. He knows he needs to run. We might see this TC get deleted at this point for Vinchester. We'll see if he wants to continue to focus on that. And back to stonewalling. Maybe now you place a castle. Again, it's tricky, though. Because he's not on the way to imp. He doesn't want to donate. And he kills there. I don't think we'll see it. But what if BacT clicks up to imp in this TC, and then the Trebuchet from Vinchester takes it out? There are 2 TCs here that could be taken out. BacT right now is trying to invest in his skirmishers, but Castle Age skirmishers do very, very poor against Arbalest. We have a couple Karambit warriors just to protect things, I guess. And very weird to use your Treb here, if you ask me. But I guess he doesn't want to run into a shot from the siege, and he'll move forward afterwards. More ranges here for Vinchester. He definitely has the lead right now. Guys, oh, he deleted the TC. Okay, I was going to say. We actually saw a game where someone lost their MTC in the middle, because that's the TC you don't enjoy creating villagers out of, unless you're Vinchester, because he keeps doing it and ferrying them over. Okay, this is not the MTC. The MTC's back here, so BacT thought of that. Good stuff. 3 minutes, though. 3 minutes is such a long time to wait. He could lose all of his buildings in 3 minutes. Well, actually, I don't know. 94 vills. We have pikemen now for Vinchester, as I think he's concerned about the knight numbers. Slowly moving forward into the darkness. No relics collected yet. Would like to see that, as he's going to add the barracks there, and yep. I think pikemen's a good choice. It's not like you're going to go light cav as the Malay. That's kind of a weakness for them, is that their cav sucks, and up against skirmishers, you're going to have some problems. But yeah, I think the thing that he's missing from this composition is probably bombard cannon. And oh! Okay, BacT calls it. I thought BacT would put up more of a fight there. He just taps out. I mean, honestly, Vinchester was just so far ahead. Like, this eco is going to be harassed. This position's all going to be pushed down probably before he can even compete against it. I think the score is super high and way higher than the position shows. And that can happen on maps where there's water. But yeah, Vinchester. It was an interesting opening from BacT. But once the tower came up from Vinchester, he defended on water, but I think the most important thing is that he went for the fish traps. Like I said, like, Vinchester had a 20 eco lead. BacT closed the deficit. But if you have more fish, and then you add the TCs like BacT did, then I think you have a lead in economy, and then maybe you're in a better position right now. This is just not something you see every day. This is something you want with the Malay. That rhymed. And I hope no one's in dismay. Look at that. I'm proud of... I'm oddly proud of myself for thinking of that. But yeah, hopefully you don't unsub or whatever. Alrighty, good old cross action here. And wow, lots to talk about with the civilizations. I am going to remove Vinchester's clan thing, okay? We're going to remove this because we are trying to be disrespectful to him. No, we're not. It's actually still down here. This looks a little better on the scoreboard. Hope everything's all good, Vinch. Sorry. Guys, a wonderful map. I love this map. This has been a staple of competitive AoE2 for many years. And it inspired what you would find in the ranked ladder in... Oh, shoot, I got to put the scoreboard up. But it inspired Four Lakes. Now, what we've done with this map, with lots of tinkering, is we've changed how the extra golds work compared to Four Lakes. So don't quote me on the exact specifics for the Four Lakes version, but we lessened the amount of fish. There's still lots of food. It's still very important, but we did remove some of it. So you have to prioritize to control the other ponds earlier and get other sources of food income like farms earlier. I did not want fish to dominate. And also with the golds, what we found is with these ponds is BacT runs right into the TC fire. Holy, fast start. But I kind of found it hard to balance extra golds. And so instead of having 2 3-tiled neutral golds, we decided to just split it up. So you see main gold, 4-tile gold, 4-tile gold. So these are the player's golds, right? But look, 2, 2, 2, 2, right? So you've got 8 extra golds, but it's split up because if you did like just 2 additional spots of extra gold, sometimes it becomes unfair. So, again, lots of flexibility needed. We can see some crazy strategies from time to time. You can sneak villagers onto their water if they've docked and take out their fishing ships. You can open with archers. You can open with scouts. We could see everything. And what we haven't seen is Hindustanis versus Malians yet. We have seen both of these civilizations played in the Titans League, but we have not actually seen the this matchup. Now, I think with Hindustanis, just like the Gurjaras, 2 new civilizations, they could basically counter any civ. You could list any civ right now, and I could tell you how Hindustanis could probably counter it, assuming it's a, let's just say a land map that isn't arena. Or Black Forest. Okay, maybe I'm finding ways that maybe they'd struggle. The Malians, though, the Malians are more flexible in regards to the map because of how cheap their buildings are. From the houses, to the docks, to the barracks, to the ranges, it's 15% off, and that adds up and can lead to you controlling more ponds. As you can see, the dock is a little faster because of that. And then their land infantry and their land cavalry is pretty strong. Malians also are in this weird spot where their university upgrades come in way faster. And so we see a lot of archer play with them so they can rush ballistics. So it's just, I guess the awkwardness for Malians comes in with transitions. And the Hindustanis don't really have those struggles in the same way. But yeah, if you were to go for infantry with the Malians, the Hindustanis have hand cannons that have 9 range. if you were to go for knights or camels, Hindustanis have camels that attack faster. If you try and boom, the Hindustanis have cheaper villagers. If you go for siege onager, they have bombard cannon. They can raid you with hussar. Both of their unique techs super relevant, as one increases their gold income and the other one gives the hand cannons the range. It's just really, really sick. And a lot of people feel like Hindustanis have too many bonuses. I would be in agreement right now, but I have used one too many casts to talk about some of these civs, and I'm trying to taper it off a little bit. And then I'll turn it up a notch once we have the next patch, and we'll see what happens, right? That's a pretty cool thing, by the way. The fact that that's, you know, our existence, that there's patches and changes. I love that, and even if I disagree with some things here or there, I will never lose that perspective. Because I remember the years and years of just neglect, let's put it that way, right? New Civ comes out, yep, you're stuck with that forever. Have fun with that. And then even before then, we were playing with Age of Conquerors for 15 years with nothing, right? So good stuff. Wow, Vinchester, he is going all the way to the back golds, which is way sneakier than I think he would normally be. But yeah, I mean, why not, I guess? And BacT, oh boy, sending a Vil. Now, is this BacT trying to get more fish? Or is this BacT trying to do a loop-de-loop? Actually, to be honest, BacT scouting is horrible right now. He hasn't confirmed the dock is here at all. T90, share your point of view on how to nerf Gujaras and why Hindustanis need a nerf. You're baiting me right now. You're baiting me. You're trying to see if I'm going to stick to the words that I just said. I will not be tricked. No barracks for either player. I think BacT honestly just wants to wall his base and fish boom. He's adding a 5th fishing ship back here. And he's adding another one down here. You know, meanwhile, Vinchester, I think, is expecting some pressure. He's made an outpost. He's real worried. He's like, oh, I gotta hide. But hold on. God, both players are playing so greedy. If either player would have gone for any type of man-at-arm opening, they would be screwed. And they're both not scouting it either. That's the thing. But yeah, here comes Vinchester. Remember, he is the full HP scout, so that's going to be a big talking point. And he's going to drop his dock in the north. Dang. I mean, if you watched any of these cross games from other sets, we have not seen players be able to just full wall like BacT is right now. The starting scout's normally able to play a role in that. But yeah, they're just going around to the ponds. 8 fishing ships with 2 more on the way for BacT right now. And again, his docks are cheap. His walls, houses, everything a little bit cheaper. Vinchester. He's probably clicked his scout behind here, and he's looking at the pathing, and he's like, wait, what? Now he clicks closer, and yep, BacT is fully walled. That's ridiculous. Now, wait a second. Did Vinchester get Town Watch, guys? Something tells me he researched Town Watch. That vision is nice. And that helps the docks. And look at him. He goes 2 docks in the north now. Here comes BacT. Check it out. Now, he thinks initially that is the first dock, and it is not. Let's see. Vinchester! Oh, saves the villager. And Vinchester could decide now to, instead of checking the south, which he would find something, by the way, to bring his scout to the north. So that is actually good for BacT. I know he didn't kill the Vil, but at least he knows that he needs to contest this. And that has made Vinchester respond by trying to come over here and kill the scout. T90 knows what nerfs are coming, and he wants to keep his mouth zipped to not disclose the change earlier. I know. I do not know. I do not know. I have an idea, but no specifics. And another reason Vinchester might want to be here is to kill the Vil. This villager's name is Michelle. Why do I always go for Michelle? I don't know, but she did. And BacT scout with 2 HP. You might not think that's a big deal, but that is a really nice thing. Because at this point, he scouted all pawns except the one he can expect to have no chance on. He knows it's 2 docks in the north. He has his dock in the south. Guys, he even just checked with his fishing ship. He went to the shoreline with his fish intentionally. This is crazy. I mean, BacT has picked a sieve here and used its bonuses quite nicely. And I don't hate how Vinchester's played it either, but just to boldly just add fish everywhere and say have fun is wild. And what? He's on stone? What? Guys, when is the last time you saw Malians drop a castle early castlade with Gabeto in competitive AoE2? I can't even think of like a trolley ladder game where someone did that. You know, where someone's just messing around. Huh. When I was talking about the bonuses for the Malians, I did not talk about the Gabeto, the unique unit with high attack, low HP, and that is apparently going to be the choice for BacT. Now again, it's an infantry unit. Also, BacT lost his scout, rip. Vinchester's also going to scout the south, which could be an issue, but I mean, honestly, I don't hate it against Camel. That's what's quite nice. I don't hate it against Camel. And I might hate some of the other options against Camel. T90, you should ask the Capture Age team to add a feature to let you name vills. Oh my god, kind of like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you click someone in your park and they'd have a name. It'd be like Susan F. Yeah, that would be pretty dangerous. I don't think I need any more distractions. Now, he's placing this castle in an area where Vinchester might be able to see it. But here's the deal, guys. BacT has played the water somewhat perfectly so far. He was just faster to the fish boom, right? So he has actually brought in, even though the eco's similar, he has brought in 700 more food, and that has made the difference with the castle age time. He doesn't have control, though, and Vinchester, I guarantee, is going to look at this and say, what? And you don't want to make camels necessarily against the Gabeto. So maybe that's the plan, like forcing the Hindustani player to not be able to use the faster attacking camels. Oh no. Oh, will BacT notice this? He has a galley here, guys, trying to block it. Oh, this is such a big deal as we have 7 fishing ships fishing freely. BacT also, I think, without a scout, a little confused at the moment. Just curious on if it's possible to drop a dock down here himself. But yeah, he goes for the second TC. Also researched horse collar in the wood upgrade already, so his eco should be good. And here he moves out with these ladies. Look at them run. You know, my parents always told me not to run with scissors, but my parents never told me to not run with whatever these things are, so they are going there in a hurry. Does anyone know what this weapon is actually called? Because I kind of want one, and I want to mount it in my office right behind me. So when I use my camera, which I never use, you guys can see it. They're speedy little demons, but they're 35 HP. And oh my god, they're so thin. They just fit right between those houses. Holy crap. 10 attack each. Okay. Villager goes down there. Nice control for BacT right now. T90, no joke. I can make that for you. Chupta is like an assassin on the side. Just slicing people up. Again, I have no clue what that weapon is. I kind of want to know. It's a Kapinga? A Kapinga? Is that a thing? I will Google this later. Anyways, frustrating for Vinchester. In the end, though, this still has not been spotted. And so he can clear up all these fishing ships. And I think BacT just looked at it. Yeah, and now he's starting to make fire galleys. Vinchester, though, has decided to go for cav archers, which I actually think is a good call. I think it's a really good call. But, you know, reacting doesn't feel too hot right now, I can tell you that much. And these Gabetos are speedy. It's been a long time since I have seen this unit. And, you know, my outlook on it has always been that it's just too low HP to have much of an effect unless it's combined with something. Like, you would want this if your opponent was going for Halbs, for example, against your Knights. Then they're very strong. Kind of similar to how Franks would go throwing Axemen, I guess, against Halbs if they were going Knights. But I think they're worse than an Axeman overall in terms of damage, but they're also, it's how you use them. And BacT has been everywhere, and BacT broke through here, so Vinch chases. BacT is over here, and BacT denies the town center, and BacT has 60 eco versus Vinchester's 48 right now. Dang. I mean, 3 town centers are pumping right now. This is impressive. Obviously, Vinchester has plenty of fish. Could, in theory, win this, and then fish here as well. We'll complete the town center now. Also, Cav Archer ball's looking much bigger. Okay, this is Wikipedia, not copypasta. The Kampinga or Hungamunga. It's called a Hungamunga. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. That sounds like something I would have named it if I was like 5 or something. That's awesome! Hungamunga. As we watch these things throw them. Is a throwing knife with multiple blades in different directions. The Kapinga was used by the Azande from Nubia. In addition to being a weapon, it was also seen as a status symbol. Only professional blah 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 something. Okay. I think we need to have like a Hungamunga emote or something now. Wow. Guys, I'm so impressed with BacT. I would like to remind people who will later watch this on YouTube that if you want to watch the full series, you can watch that in the description, and we have a 3rd channel now and a playlist for all this stuff, and it's exciting and awesome because this is crazy. This is crazy. He doesn't even have any upgrades right now. This is also against the Civ that everyone's talking about being obnoxiously strong at the moment. And Vinchester, maybe a little concerned, is going to add some stables. It's tough to use melee units against the Gabeto, though. But I think he's doing that because... Oh! I think he's doing it because of the Scorpions. Yeah, BacT also, while he has played fantastic so far in this league, he is up against a player who has not lost a single game yet. Vinchester 3-0'd some great players. And the talking point in this group has been which 2 players are going to get relegated and which 2 players are going to go right below Vinchester and Leary. And that's kind of where I've been. BacT maybe going to change things up here. That's a lot of these things. Can anyone remind me how much a Gabeto costs? I would really like to know that. Also, I'm not sure if these Cav Archers are going to enjoy their time in here. They're trying desperately to break through... Ooh, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage, but also a lot of Gabeto have gone down. So it is a cost thing. But it's only a cost conversation if it's an even game sometimes. Right now, when you have this economy, BacT clicks up to the Imperial Age. 96 economy versus 64. Vinchester's been on 2 TCs. And... Fish still out there, still slowly working. Light Cav will swoop in to take out the Scorpions. Ooh, this is a bit sloppy here from BacT. The Scorpions were fine when he had army to protect it. Now the Scorpions could go down, which could mean the Cav Archers could have more success. And yep, there you go. So they're apparently 50 food and 40 gold. 50 food, 40 gold. 30 HP. I don't know. I'm 35 HP, excuse me. I'm still not, like, super convinced that the unit is totally... I mean, he's got great value with it. Don't get me wrong. But at that price, let's just say it's not cheap for what it gives you. 35 HP. But maybe it made sense against what he's up against here. And it just, he needed... a protection with the castle, and he needed something that was mobile, because otherwise camels and Cav Archers could have been an issue for him. Vinchester kills a villager. What's nice for him is that he has a fallback for everything that's made here. So if his opponent goes for Cav, and I think that's going to be the switch here for BacT, he can go into his camels that attack faster. Also, BacT is over here. I don't know if he's trying to snipe fishing ships with these, but if he is, I love that. I think he's just trying to be annoying. The score right now doesn't necessarily show the situation. When someone has water, their score tends to really increase. And the 30 or so villager lead that BacT has right now is probably not something Vinchester's expecting. Vinchester is really curious what's going to be made now. He's looking to see what he can find. And actually, he had spotted stables before. So the correct play for him would likely be to add more stables himself and make camels now. There's a lot of army on the map for Vinch. 44 kills for him, 24 losses. And he will drop a castle here now. And this is going to protect a lot of this extra gold we talked about earlier. Malians do have a newish bonus where the gold lasts longer for them. So in theory, they don't have to expand to the other golds as quickly. It used to be that their gold mining upgrades were free, and then they gave that to the Bohemians. And honestly, I'm not convinced with the gold lasting longer. I felt like the mining upgrades felt stronger for them. But certainly it has helped BacT here because he doesn't have to leave his base yet. And wow, okay. BacT gets imp armor. And he says, I heard you have good camels. Let's see him, buddy. Now, on top of having the faster attacking camels and Imperial camel, Hindustanis also have Halberdier, which Malians don't have. So, and actually, hold on. Is BacT's going to go... BacT is just cycling through the tech tree of Malians and saying, yo, what can I do? He's going to go champions as we have supplies. Because I think he's expecting to see some halbs now. Honestly, would be pretty decent against enemy camels as well. Let's be honest. That might be his best option right now. Vinchester knows about that, though. He sees the barracks coming up, so he knows what that means. And he's now adding archer ranges. By the way, the camels are over here attacking fire ships. Bad times for the camels. Unless it's a flaming... I mean, they're about to be flaming camels. They are flaming camels. That's the better joke to me. Haha! I didn't know the Malians got flaming camel. What is this bug? Camels chasing camels over here. BacT. Going into champion really early compared to what you would normally do. Normally you would flood the map with the cav first and then make a switch when you actually see what your opponent's doing. But I mean, his position's pretty good right now. And this is also an area that you could in theory push, but he's having some problems. Vinchester getting some nice value from his armies. Vinchester has had his fair share of kills in this game for sure. Castle's not really going to be useful. Champion also means you can't really make archers against the Hindustanis. Not that Malians have good archers. A champion cancels out the unique unit from the Hindustanis as well, because that's particularly good against archers. BacT doesn't have Farimba yet, which would give him all that extra attack. And, oh, he gets to the castle. And this will be denied. BacT has 133 economy. Who cares if he doesn't have Farimba? Some great kills for him. Still no siege for BacT. Guys, this is so important. In this group, it kind of felt like Vinchester and Leary were just going to 3-0 everybody. But when I saw BacT play Slam, with how good Slam is playing and win 2-1, and then I saw, you know, he was going to be up against Vinchester, I really felt like maybe he can get a win. Potentially, too. You never know. These are all top 24 players in all these groups in Platinum League. But this is a crazy position he would have never expected to find himself in. The problem is, I don't know if he has a counter to these hand cannons. He still hasn't even pushed this down yet. Feels like the lack of siege is confusing, as he's actually out of gold right now, guys. He's going to take this stone, but he doesn't have any gold income beyond those 4 villagers, wherever they are. Okay, Vinchester. He will see the champions. Now, everyone calls these champ scarls because they have high pierce armor. But that bonus does not help out against hand cannons. He wants to bust through the walls here. What on earth is this? He's not trading against the armies at all. He just wants to break right through. Farimba's also in, by the way, so the camels have the +7 attack now. And all of a sudden, BacT's army count is insane. The light cav also benefit from Farimba. And BacT is looping in with camels to raid down here. He's pushing right through the middle. And the hand cannons are going to get some great kills. But this still keeps Vinchester at home. And he's just spreading out. He's going to raid with champions. Vinchester doesn't notice this at all because it all came in at the exact same time, which is amazing. Even getting his gold mining upgrades now. As Vinchester has to be asking himself, how? But now I'm asking, how has this gone unchecked? How has BacT not dealt with that? We'll see. And then how many villagers will die? And the answer is a lot. Thankfully, villagers are really cheap with the Hindustanis, but whoo! Man, dude. I mean, and then the vills went down over here as well, right? Okay, we have the light cav follow-up. I think the light cav will actually be pretty good against the hand cannons. Because at the end of the day, hand cannons only have 40 HP. So Vinch is like looking at his tech tree. He's like, I've got all these options, but I just don't have the time or momentum to get to it. Because of BacT's control earlier. Everywhere you look, there's blue attacking yellow right now, including here. And including here as the Trebs could end up taking out that castle. BacT, what the? What? Okay, bear with me here. I don't think I can play the music because of copyright issues. What is this synchronized scouting? Okay, I'm going to play it without my voice for a second because I feel like Hardy's going to want that so he can edit this. Watch this. What was happening there? It's like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I have no explanation for that except for he kept clicking his units and they kept reforming. It's like they're dancing. Ah, God. I don't understand that. Anyways, this is an intense game. We should all pay attention. And the light cav are probably just going to make their way over here all beautiful like. Lovely castle from BacT so we can take more gold. This will lead to Vinchester finally losing this castle. Vinchester does have 30 hand cannons, though. 30 hand cannons. Also has this castle here. BacT is going to show up with rams that aren't even capped yet. That is very rare. I guess he might assume that he's clicked the capped ram upgrade. So he's got castle age rams. And now Vinchester's not finished here yet. As he takes out one of the Trebs. Vinch's population is actually looking much, much better now as the hand cannon numbers haven't been dealt with. But now the rams and the champions and another castle for BacT. What a game. So Vinch has to push this now. Vinch has to take this position, it feels like, because he's losing so much ground over here. 75 on food for BacT. His eco has been flying this game. And I think if I were him, you take an engagement, you hope to actually, I know it sounds dumb, but you actually hope to lose some units, and then all your new army goes to deal with this, because you're actually pop-capped right now. So it's a positive, honestly, if you kill units, but then also if you end up losing your army, it's good, because then you can deal with this. He's just going to hold and be as defensive as possible. And yeah, I mean, again, it's a pro or pro for him. Either way, this is going to be fine. Still hasn't even upgraded his rams. And he's still getting so many kills. And now here comes that next wave I was talking about. I mean, both of these castles are still standing at the end of the day. The light cav with that attack and the champions here. And just how good his economy is should mean that he can make so many more of them. And here he comes. This is the best fight that you could hope for if you're Vinch, because you have the camels on the light cav and the hand cannons on the champs. But there's so many units here for BacT, and he just won't let up. He won't let up. He cleared this up as well. Vinchester at 130 population. He's now got this tiny little pushing force, and look at the spam. Forget calling them champ scarls because of how much pierce armor they have. Call them champ scarls because they spam as quickly as Goths over here with this production from BacT. Wow. What a game. So, you know, when it comes to Group C, BacT looking so good now. Even if he loses the next game, looking so good when other players haven't been able to take any games off Vinch. But if you can play like that, you can definitely take more games off of Vinchester. That was a sick game from BacT. And honestly, it was just so bold, this game. He was boldly taking advantage of his bonuses. He was a bold bonus backed boy. That's what he was. Because he used the cheap wood buildings to dock everywhere. Just walled up. Vinchester kind of tried something similar, but Vinchester clearly expected some type of aggression, because that does happen a lot. But nope. He docked all 3 pawns. While he did end up losing this pawn in the south, he had already benefited from it and made it to Castle Age. PC's a bit cheaper. Barracks a bit cheaper. Stable's a bit cheaper. All that. Just imagine the savings here, guys. The savings on all these buildings. And then we saw the Gabeto. We saw the Farimba upgrade for the Cav. And we saw the champions. I mean, what more do you really want to see from Malians? Maybe Tigui. Maybe the TC's firing arrows. It's kind of a useless unique tech, but maybe that would have been the only thing unique that Malians have that maybe you need to take advantage of. So, one of the better games from Titans League right there from BacT. I'm very happy we saw that from a Civ and also a matchup perspective. And there's the total resources collected. Dang. And okay, so to my YouTube audience out there, I upload the best individual games. You don't have to worry. The main channel will get the quarterfinals onwards, all that stuff. I do that for all my events, but I've been casting sets non-stop, and I decided to come out with a second YouTube channel called T90 Extras, where you have the full tournament sets. We have tournament sets going up there every single day. From this event, there will be other stuff as well going forward. The channel will always be active, so we'll link to that in the description. We'll link to the full best of or play all 3, and if you want to see the 3rd game, it'll be there. If you also don't want to go to more channels, because I know that people are super promoty with that on YouTube, you could also simply just check out the T90 Titans League playlist. We put all the games in there. We've been trying to grow that a little bit, and thanks to everyone who's been watching. It's cool to have more and more people watching the content. Wow, that was cool, man. 242 to 164. Vinchester had the KD, but BacT's boom just put him in a position where he could toss units away, kind of. But I don't know. It didn't seem like he was super wasteful. It just felt like he had so much initiative. He kept switching all over the place. Man, these guys are fast. And look how many villagers Vinchester had to remake. I know that they're cheap. Actually, the funny thing is the total is actually not that different. So I don't know what that would come out to. But yeah, still, Vinchester did have to remake a lot of builds in that game. We just talked about the Hindustanis. And I just wonder, how did Vinchester get the Hindustanis and the Gujaras on his draft? I have not been looking at the Civ draft for this set. But this is the home map for Vinchester. And he actually used this strategy against Capwatch and absolutely melted him. There was no chance. The previous game we talked about the Hindustanis. I personally think Gujaras are... Well, I think they're better than Hindustanis, even though Hindustanis are crazy. But this is a well-thought-out strategy from Vinchester. There could have been a ban. You only get one global ban, though, so there's still going to be some good civs. You could pick it yourself. BacT chose not to do that. Somehow ended up with the Portuguese. But the way the Gujaras operate is they are very strong if they are on maps that have a lot of herdables, because they can put 10 inside of their mill. And so what's amazing about the bonus, and I actually think BacT is trying to steal water buffaloes right now. Vinch is trying to find some, and BacT is hoping to steal some because he knows how dangerous the Gujaras can be. You know, what's interesting is you have a cap of 10 inside of that mill regardless of what you put in there. But if you put something like a water buffalo or a cow in there, which is 150 food instead of 100 like a sheep, you actually get more food according to the food on the animal. So, yeah, I mean, picking this Civ, I know it's kind of a water map, but picking this Civ on a map where there's a lot of water buffalo makes sense to me. And you might even find 2 more. So, BacT. First time I've even seen Portuguese played in this whole event, man. I don't remember a single arena game, Golden Swamp game, Fortified Clearing. I'm trying to think of where Portuguese would thrive. Clearly has an idea. And maybe his idea is to get to organ guns at some point. Now listen, I've never considered Portuguese bad, but I've never considered the Portuguese to be great. All right. There are situations where they can dominate, namely with the organ guns. And having, I would say, okay, I disagree. They're actually great on standard water maps. So islands, easy top 3 pick, possibly the best 1v1 island civ. Yeah, apart from that, I mean, it just doesn't feel like you have any bonuses that give you a big jump start, right? The Gurjaras have all this food. There's 7 in there. It leads to some crazy economy. And this is consistent. It's not like a villager which you have to control and walk back and forth to resources. No, it's just consistent food income. And, you know, yes, your units are cheaper on gold with the Portuguese, but you don't have any bonuses that give you any boosts. Not very boosty. Now, what Vinch did against BacT, what Vinch did against Capoch was he went into, he saw his opponent docked and he just went fast feudal into galleys. That's all he did. So he doesn't dock, which normally is kind of a weakness of the Gurjaras, is because they're start and they mill right away. He just says, screw it. I'm not going to dock. I'm going to get the fastest uptime possible, and then he's going to, I think, dock the middle and just try and dominate the water there. Organ guns might be a good Shrivamsha counter. Each projectile will eat away their dodge. Well, they also fire really slow, though, right? I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that that's great, just simply due to the fact that you need... Organ guns are slow, they produce slow, and you also need a castle. But I would love to see it attempted here. I think it definitely comes down to what happens in an early game, though. Oh my god, this build order is insane. What is this uptime? His uptime's going to be 8 minutes. Now, I don't actually know if he'll be able to afford anything, to be fair. This is at the limit. So what he will most likely do is abandon all food underneath his TC. And maybe he'll stay on berries, but he doesn't feel like he needs food after having this in the mill. Because what you're aiming for is you're aiming for food for villagers, obviously. And then you're aiming for food for fletching, and that's it. And the wood upgrade, excuse me. So having 300 food right now is awesome. BacT's uptime's not bad for a normal game. But he's also walling a lot. I think BacT is really confused. Listen, okay? Now, I could be wrong on this, but I have a pretty good sense for this stuff. Do you guys think that BacT watched the previous set from Vinchester against Capoch? Yes or no? I'm going to give you 2 reasons why it's a no, okay? First one is Vinchester played Gurjaras and dominated. And Gurjaras are still playable. Okay, so that's like the one thing. Maybe you want to ban those. The second thing is Vinchester played Gurjaras on this map, and he never went land. And I can understand if you didn't watch how you would think Gurjaras are good land civ, and how they don't normally have any water bonuses, and how they might go scouts or something. So, I'm guessing. I do not know for certain. But I believe that BacT is possibly underprepared here. Again, I could be wrong. So, take what I just said with a grain of salt. But, you know, there is something beautiful about being walled. Keeping yourself protected does make you feel nice and cozy. This gold is awkward for BacT, though. And, yeah. We have the double galley. Oh, double fire. Actually, from Vinchester. And not even double yet. Just the one fire on the way. He had gone galleys, I think, against Capoch. Now, let's see. Is BacT's going to scout this? Okay. Okay, he's going to scout the dock. I could... You know what? I'm going to taper it back. And I actually think that BacT just might want to wall up just because it's a generally safe thing to do. Sorry, I get really passionate about preparation. And I love the scouting there from BacT, and I love the reposition of the fish. And at the end of the day, he's got fish, and his opponent does not. And we'll see how Vinchester chooses to play this. You know, the fire galleys haven't been producing nonstop. And BacT Should have 2 fire galleys by the time Vinchester arrives with his 1. Oh, BacT almost loses the scout. Finds the water buffalo Vinch could have, so he'll send that to the corner. And BacT adding dock number 3. This camel scout's going to be annoying, though. This uptime from Vinchester is really good, right? Obviously gives him a lot of early momentum. But, okay, so Vinchester's just getting horse color, and he's just going to transition into farms. So it's almost like he just wants to kill the enemy's fish and then just have better land economy. And honestly, I've seen situations where if someone loses their fish and then has to re-add it on this map, it doesn't feel that strong. So somehow BacT is hiding the fishing ship. It's like if we hide behind here and are quiet, they'll never see us. This fishing ship, though, just like most of them, kind of in harm's way. 4 fire galleys for both, though. Here comes BacT. Fishing ship's back to work. Break time is over. And now we have a demo for Vinchester. And so while I made a comparison between the previous game for Vinchester against Capwatch, this is not even comparable in terms of the execution. Capwatch was basically dead, if you recall. He was dead. It smashed him. And BacT is in this. BacT is looking all right now. Does need to be careful, obviously. Could get demoed. It's a risky business to be over here. And I'm surprised he's staying. And here comes a demo. He'll lose 1 ship. And here he backs away. And yeah, he needs a demo because he's not really repairing his ships right now like Vinchester is. Ooh, boy. Keep an eye on that food count for me. Let's see if this is spotted, by the way. This is a big moment in this game. Vinchester spread his ships up just in case. But yeah, those sneaky demos could happen at any time. KD's 5-1 right now for Vinchester. Score 1-1. BacT just handed Vinch his first loss of the entire tournament. This is nice from BacT to snipe the demo. Probably why he added the galleys, but now galleys don't really work against the fires, so it's a little questionable. BacT running away. Is falling off on water right now. Economically, doesn't have many farms, but plenty of berries and still taking some water buffalo. And Vinch is all about that farming eco and his food count, man. His food count is ridiculous. Okay, BacT is continuing to make galleys, and that's a bit questionable to me. When you're behind in fire numbers, I don't think galleys are ever going to be it, but maybe has faith in his micro, and if he can get a demo or 2, maybe it'll work. Okay, so let's check the food income real quick. This is really smooth right now for Vinchester. Total resources collected, though. This is where, like, honestly, the numbers, the data that we see with this civilization don't even match how strong it feels. This doesn't seem that crazy. Obviously, he farmed and whatnot. You could argue he's allowed to do that because of how he opened, blah, blah, blah. But I'm comparing this, and it just feels as though this is going to be a castle time that is 5 minutes faster than BacT. It is such a unique build order from Vinchester to incorporate water with this civ. Let's see, though. A demo here could do something for BacT. He actually has quite a bit of navy. And he does hit the demo. And he also spent food and gold on fletching, which Vinchester did not. This feels like a moment where BacT is going to want to take some control on water. With Vinchester on the way to the next stage, it feels so important for him to do so. 13-6 KD. Scout is still out there for Vinchester, by the way. It's in the middle of the map right now. We have a market for BacT. And he's going to stone, guys. And he knows he's going to be behind, too. He actually sold stone to buy food. You know something I've never really been able to call out in-game when I'm playing? Is someone score dipping when they're going to imp. And that's a clear sign to me that BacT saw a score dip. But I rarely see that in-game. I can see it when I'm casting. But when I'm in-game, I just can't pick up on that. And now I will think, okay, I think he's up for other reasons, but I never see the score dip and confirm that. And that to me felt like BacT confirmed it with a score dip. just because of how experienced he is. Because the score is a combination of a bunch of different stats, but one of those things is resources in the bank. So when you spend 1,000 resources to click up, your score is going to dip. Boo! Boo! Bad demo. The demo didn't land. Great micro from Vinch. And BacT is actually kind of trapped in here right now. Oh, man. He's got a lot of weak galleys. Vinchester can now click the War Galley upgrade. Upgrade his fires even more. It goes back to the comment you made the other day about being able to do more with less. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I mean, like, someone made a comparison with the Gurjara start to the Chinese and how the Chinese have more vills. Gurjaras, you do have to work out a build order, but, you know, I honestly would be okay with Gurjara Eco, I think, if their options weren't also really, really strong. I think it's a combination of everything, right? But kind of unrateable food eco there. It's flawless food eco as well. You don't have to worry about any issues with the efficiency. And Vinchester, on a map where most players dock, just had no interest. And look at the camel. The camel sacrificing himself here. What a play from Vinch. He has officially won water now. I think BacT kind of has to give up on it. When we saw the Civ matchup, we wanted to see organ guns. So this is our time. Now, a daring man would walk over here and drop a castle. But that would take a long time, and I feel like BacT needs something now. He's still not giving up on water either. But he just lost the dock that had the War Galley upgrade. And now he's got to click that again. This will be dealt with. There's 4 demos now, actually. Yeah, castle on shoreline would make sense. Okay, demo. The problem is, you're just, even if you demo his ships, you don't have a way to really fight back. Ideally, you have demo with some fires. But yeah, here's going to be this castle. Vinchester's scoutsman all over it this game. He sees it. Also kind of liked BacT's food situation. He doesn't actually need a ton of food to boom and make organ guns, because organ guns don't cost food. And Vinch is, this is kind of smart. I mean, maybe he will go in after the dock now, but it seems like he's expecting there to be demos. And oh, God! Okay, never mind. My bad. He gets hit. I thought he was just going to sit back. 50 eco for Vinchester. 3 TCs. And you'll notice he has so many crucial eco upgrades right now. He knows the castle's coming. So what do the Gurjaras have to counter the organ guns? Keep in mind, organ guns are only dangerous when you get numbers, which takes some time. Wait. Do Gurjaras get redemption? If you get redemption, couldn't you just go redemption monks? I actually think Shravamsha Riders also will soak up some of that damage too. I haven't seen it, but it would make sense that they do. I think you can go Shravamsha monk and be okay. I think Vinch is a little concerned, so he's going to be on stone to maybe drop a castle, but he actually drops TC number 4 in the middle. And control is there for Vinchester. There's 2 TCs for BacT. And organ guns, again, if you get the mask, can actually do decent against ships. Here he comes in the middle. He's crossed over this terrain. And Vinchester has to be careful. Organ guns are a siege weapon. That's why redemption's needed. This Civ shouldn't get redemption, man. You know how many Civs don't get redemption? That are not good? Or not great? Oh, man. Just give them everything, man. Just give them everything. Here comes the water for Vinch. Looping around some fires. It feels like he just needs to hold this right now. He's got the eco lead. The trades don't even need to be that good. He's going to mass a few monks. He's probably waiting for a defensive castle in the middle. He's getting Bodkin. I mean, BacT is having some success here. Okay, so they've got good castle age monks, is what you're saying then. Ooh, wait. But there's no monks. Or there's this guy. This guy's trying to get a relic for his lord. BacT is coming to the middle. The organ guns are dominating, man. They're dominating. And we are going to see a castle from both. Let's go, BacT. This could get out of hand. I love how the villagers are repairing. That's such a clutch move. And here he is with his castle. Oh, my God. 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 I mean, it feels like BacT has to get this up. If they both get it up, it's a very interesting game. Because Vinch's navy has not been working out at all. He doesn't have the monks yet. He's just lost his ship. Gurjara, 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 Gurjara. Well, BacT says, hello, my friend. Organ guns are here. Dang. I think Vinchester... So Vinchester even baited me into being really casual about it. Like, yeah, okay, he's got it under control. 4 TCs. No military is really needed. Oh, my God. There's a demo in there. Oh, my God. No, 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 no. Oh. That's such a good idea, though, from Vinch. Why did he not move out? If the organ guns ever go back, he can demo them. There's also a slight chance that he can demo it here. He has 4 demos there, guys. But there is no unit out except for the monks now to maybe convert this. If they didn't get redemption, I think Vinch is dead. But he converts an organ. He hops back inside. 8 on food. 8 on food right now. Also, feels like kind of a silly move sometimes, but maybe a ram. Not for Vinch because there's organ guns, but maybe for BacT. Good micro from BacT. He does lose another organ, and he's now on the shoreline. And he's been here a while now, and the demos haven't popped out. But boom! Boom! Wasn't quite as strong as I thought it was going to be, but still a demo, and Vinch is still going to be patient. And wow, great defense. Great defense. Picks off some of the weak ones with the galleys. We'll now try and convert the rest. 35 on food for BacT. What? Oh, it's the shorefish. I was going to say, how did he do that? 35 on food for him. But that obviously is not long-term food eco. Like the farming eco for Vinchester is very long-term. But BacT doesn't want this game to be long-term, obviously. He wants that food as quickly as possible. He wants to maybe rush to the Imperial Age. And Vinch continues with the Navy. Now, I think maybe we saw what he was missing originally. He was just missing demos, honestly. The galleys were dying, but the demos will dominate. And the demos are here. And one goes down. The next one smashes BacT. And he is on the way to the Imperial Age, but Vinchester is making rams. Now, they're not actually rams. It's an armored elephant. It's what the Gurjaras get. The Indian civilizations have that. It costs food and gold, which is actually a downside if you're also trying to race to Imp. But with double castle here in the middle for Vinchester, I don't see how BacT can protect this castle. And then if that castle goes down, I think it's going to be really questionable to be able to defend this one as well. Yeah, so that's more like it. I mean, having a redemption there to be able to convert the siege. And also using the Navy wisely there from Vinch. Good stuff. Ah, Imp. Imp, what does that bring you here, BacT? You could make Feitorias with the Portuguese. It's very slow income, though. But 250 gold and 250 food per each Feitoria. Here come the elephants. Also, the castles have also been ranging this, so this is already almost halfway down. And BacT, I guess, is going to think about water now. So he's using the castle as protection. And he is going to... Nice raid here from BacT. Sneaky. The monks were looking for him. Is he going to go caravels, maybe? I think it's possible he just got Bodkinera for his castle. No, he's going to go war galleys. Okay. These things were deleted because they were about to be converted. And yes, Vinchester did have Sanctity. And there he is, on the way to Imp. Will these be able to take out the castle and the docks? The question. Because if they can take out the castle and the docks, I don't see how Vinchester wins. He had a great starting approach. BacT, maybe a little uncertain on what was coming. Kind of hard to say. He did wall up a lot. He actually played really well on water. Wow. Oh my god, those things are strong. He has to make demos now to defend his own castle. That works. Demos galore this game. I have very little knowledge on the Gurjara Navy. I do know that you can garrison fishing ships inside of Gurjara docks, but that's the extent of my Gurjara water knowledge. I assume they're going to get galleon because Vinchester continues to make them. And also, they do get bracer and chemistry, so if they get galleon, bracer, and chemistry, that's enough. I don't know about fast fire and heavy demo, but I don't think those things will be needed. And we do have Fatorias for BacT, so his resources are looking pretty good. But he has no control of the middle, and having villagers on gold is a lot more effective. It's just desperation from BacT as he still will try and get BacT onto the water. Vinchester checking. May see this. May convert this. May deny this. Or just send in elephants against it, honestly. Also has a couple chakram throwers here just to raid where he can. But honestly, like, BacT's Fatorias probably aren't even placed in the right spot. I would have placed them, I guess it's kind of clumped back here, but in the back corner. No fast fire, no elite cannon, and no dry dock. Okay. So they don't have the best navy ever, right? But they do have options. There's a lot of great civs out there that don't have even that, right? BacT still looking at... It says his population is 160 out of 160, guys, but so much of that is from Fatorias. 80 of that is from Fatoria pop space. So this population is not really real. And what's to stop the Fatorias from getting Treb down? University for BacT is in a really rough position. Treb's coming forward for Vinchester. And it's looking more and more like this is going to be a victory for Vinch. 2-1 victory. But, man, BacT played really well this series. He played really well. Game 2 was awesome. Game 2 is absolutely awesome. I think I'm going to have to look at the Civ draft because I'm now curious on what BacT would have banned. Because he played against the Hindustanis. Oh, excuse me. And the Gurjaras. And for some reason, I'm forgetting Game 1 already. Does anyone remember what Game 1 was? It's been a long day, and I should remember this, but I don't. This Vatoria is going to go down the chakram throwers, which is kind of sad. Oh, that's true. They could actually be converted by the monks. But it looks like most of the monks have died. Vinch can choose anything he wants to make. BacT says, you know what? This might be my craziest comeback ever. If he doesn't take my Fatorias, I've got a chance, and he's going to go into ranged units. Chemistry will actually be denied here. He will not even get chemistry, which means no bomber cannon defense. Oh, a houseboat. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so he had Chinese. Vinch picked Malay. I could see him maybe banning Japanese or something. Maybe he just didn't want to ban. Sometimes people don't want to ban good civs because they want to pick those civs. Vinch, can you please convert a Fatoria for the people here? Come on, man. Convert a Fatoria. Also, get the Siege Elephant upgrade. Yeah, you heard me on that. And also Frontier Guards. Chakrams are actually doing work here. Siege Workshops towards the center. Vinchester going to get Relic number 5. Vinchester dropping a castle here. Vinchester has BacT fully surrounded. BacT hoping for the comeback of his dreams. He's making arbs. There you go. That's something. There's quite a few options for the enemy to counter that, but we'll see. Now we have Elite Shravamsha Rider, and yeah, that completely destroys arbs. That was what I wish we would have seen against the Organ Guns as well, because I just want to know how strong they are against that unit. BacT with an artificial population of 120 is boosted by 20 because of the Fatoria. BacT still not wanting to call it here, even making Spearmen now. Maybe worried about the Shravamshas. taking losses everywhere he looks. But let's think back. He lost 2-1 to Capotch. That's 1 point. He won 2-1 to Slam. That's 2 points. Now 1 here as well. He'll be at 4. And that's pretty solid, but it still puts those final sets to such a level of importance for him, right? He has to play Leary, which will be a tricky one. And then who am I missing? Played Capwatch, played Slam. Song Song. Sadly for Song Song, I honestly think a lot of people are going to be looking at the sets against him as like the best potential to get points. Slam lost a game to Song Song, though, which keeps Song Song alive, and Song Song's going to view his sets as must-wins in Group C. I think with the... I mean, and then who does Capwatch have to play yet? Capwatch played Vinch. I think he has to play Leary. And then he has to play Slam, I believe. Oh, man, this group is just really, really close. Like, honestly, this Group A and Group A, C... Honestly, all the groups, but I think Group A, C, and D is going to be a set or two on the last week where we're like, this result has to happen, or this person's out, and then sometimes the players might even face each other. And there's the GG. BacT, you know, he fought on for a bit. A little bit of extra screen time, I guess. But I think he should be really pleased with how he played game 2.